Okay, so hello. Wait for it, everyone. We're just going to make sure we're live on all platforms, and it looks like we are. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show, brother. And we are coming to you live on the Slam Jam as well as Extreme Improv channels. Make sure you smash the subscribe buttons. We're going to be discussing all kinds of things. The biggest news, history making, but we'll get into it in a moment. But for now, let's hit the intro credits.
We're locked in the cage, it's the Slam Jam Show. We're dynamite, you better feel alive. We're better than you, and you know it. Yeah. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, Slam Jam. Feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see us, Chico, you'll be serving hard time. Ooh, yeah. Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. Slam Jam. Now it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. We're life for life, up good, it's the big show. You got no chance with Gorilla Boogie. That's the risk, that's the worst. If you smell what we're cooking, it's a Slam Jam wrestling show. The champion's here. Snap into a Slam Jam. The Slam Jam show. Yeah, yo. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know. It's the Slam Jam show. Freedom Blast. One big ass. It's the Slam Jam F1 show of you. Yeah.
Yes, so we are live. This is Slam Jam, and wow, we're running already. We haven't even got like 10 seconds in. We've had our first
Cashing
run.
in.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh my God, Gash. No, I'm sorry. That's
Cash.
Gav is cashing in. Shit. Oh my God, this has gone all wrong. That is a different show. Now, hello everyone. Now, great. That is an all-time blooper on this show, I'll tell you. Now, right. So, Dave, say hello to the people.
Well, actually, my name's Dash.
There you go.
Hello, people. Excited to talk about the history maker.
Yeah.
This week.
Okay, absolutely. History making. Gav, say hello to the people.
He's Gav, not.
I blame Dave for this. He was like cashing in. Right. So,
Right.
Oh, dear.
Am I coming through? Because I can. Sorry, Gav. Am I coming through? Okay, because I've got a slight delay on my own picture. So every time I'm speaking, I see myself saying what I just said.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
right.
think you're coming through fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit weird this week. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, Gav,
It's been a long time.
it has been a long time. It's good to see you. Now, but what has been this? Well, it's a return, Gav. It's a return.
It is.
Speaking of returns,
Hey.
Andrade El
Andrade.
Ideo. Yes, absolutely. Just unbelievable. He is the first man in history to have gone from WWE to AEW, from AEW to WWE, and from WWE to AEW. So
He's the modern day Jeff Jarrett.
it was okay. So who was the first person to is there any statistics for who was the first one to do this with WCW, TNA, ECW?
Dudley's?
The Dudleys went
He
from.
went back and forth.
Did they go back to ECW ever?
Don't think so.
I mean, technically, you could say Taz went from ECW to WWE and then appeared on ECW.
Mm.
Shane Douglas, but he went from WCW to ECW to WWE to ECW to WCW.
He went WWF to WCW to ECW to WWF to ECW. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, he
That's
started
okay.
in WCW before he was in WWF.
What about Road Warriors?
Road Warriors. So there would have been Right,
Everywhere.
NWA, right? You know,
Yeah.
What is that? Andrade's supposed to do it in the modern day world, as it were.
Yeah.
In terms of just going back three
okay.
times.
So Christian though, Christian was in WWE. He went to TNA. He
Yeah,
left
true.
TNA and went back to WWE. Then he was made to go back to TNA.
Yeah.
For a one-off appearance. Then he went to AEW. Then they made him go back to TNA to win the world title there. So yeah.
Yeah.
And notice that all of this is more interesting than actually discussing Andrade. He's not. I don't care about Andrade. I never cared about Andrade. You know, honestly, I think Charlotte is having conversations with Rick saying, look, that can't be your last match. I divorced him. So, you know.
Oh, controversial. But yeah.
I gotta say, give him a chance, but he's had about 1 million chances so far, hasn't he? We were just talking about him a few weeks ago, weren't we, on here? This whole thing of him basically leaving WWE because he was basically didn't return their calls. And
I think this is the classic Jeff Hardy maneuver, though. So if you remember, Jeff Hardy was in WWE, basically just wandered into the crowd, and people were like, "Oh, this is a wellness issue. Jeff's at it again." And he just did it so he could get out of his contracts and go to AEW. Yeah. I think that's what Andrade has done.
Probably, yeah. He's probably just done the same. At least he didn't punch anyone in the face this time, but
yeah,
allegedly.
Sammy Guevara is just in catering like this, with Andrade over there and Mercedes over there, and he's just like, "Oh shit."
What's the thing? They could have easily, I thought, put him back in LFI with Roosh and company, but then I remembered Sammy Guevara's now in LFI, so they can't do that. Yeah, no, that whole thing. That's going to be interesting when MJF comes back as well.
Well, why? Well, with Andrade? Oh no, that's nonsense. I think. Yeah, I don't like. Probably, if anything, that may now be a work because it's trying to drum up some interest.
I know, but Andrade was trying to drum up interest in a hair versus mask match when neither of them wear a fucking mask. So...
Andrade occasionally wears a mask and then takes it
off straight away.
Yeah.
Mystery revealed.
I think he's a good wrestler. Well, I think he is a good wrestler, but he's just, I don't know, he doesn't connect, does he? So
I don't think he can speak English very well. You know, he started to learn, and that's when the problems with Charlotte just really started to come through. No joke.
Yeah, understood her.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Hey, wait, who are you related to? Shit, I didn't realize this.
I don't know.
Oh dear.
But,
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even the tag team that he had with Ray Phoenix, that was actually pretty good. I thought he was gonna start something from there, but obviously not.
That was just WWE doing another. Hey, you're Mexican.
Yeah,
you're Mexican.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just like you can be like Lucha Brothers, and Phoenix like, no, wait, I've already got that. But yeah, the point is, so he came back. He's joined the Don Callis family. He's attacked Kenny Omega. He might get a win over Omega. It's not an impossibility. More likely than not, Omega will win, or if not, he'll get the return 2 or 3 victories, and then Andrade will just be in Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
you heard it here first,
right?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, it's interesting timing because obviously it being October and November coming up, they'll be doing the Continental Classic at some point soon. So I imagine he'll probably be a fixture of that.
Yeah.
Last 2 years I've actually quite enjoyed the Classic. Last 2 years in terms of just television and just the way it's been worked out. I think the tournaments have been pretty well worked, and he was a big part of that first tournament. He beat Danielson for his first sort of loss in the tournament, and then came close to qualifying. So he'll be used as a good hand. I just hope that he just doesn't punch anyone in the face backstage again. That's that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird considering that that his last match in AEW was that loss to Rusev, and he obviously went off to the WWE, but then Rusev was never seen again either in AEW. So it was pretty much pointless, both of them even being in that match, or either of them losing, because it was just a strange little.
Speaking of which, what do you think of Rusev being back? Like, what do you think?
Well, he dominated Dominic on Raw, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I don't know. My thoughts on Rusev is how long until Miro returns to AEW.
Yeah.
You know, this could be the way the swings and roundabouts. Obviously, when AEW started, because the traffic could only go one way. No one could leave AEW and go to WWE immediately because they were all under contracts. And then once contracts started ending or things started going wrong, suddenly it seemed like the exodus that was led by Cody and Jade and Brian Pillman Jr., etc., going across to WWE from AEW. But now the tide is going back out the other way, and Andrade is the first one.
I love that power trio you mentioned there: Cody, Jade, Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah. Well, what's his name? Lexis King.
Yeah.
He's in NXT, and like he was on my radar for a while, but I haven't seen NXT in a while, so I don't even know what he's doing.
I do want to talk about NXT actually this week in a moment. If that's right, but I will say this though. I think that hey. We're discussing Andrade, Ian.
Okay.
I just had thought though that if that came true and Miro did end up going back to AEW, could we put Andrade and Miro in a team? Do you remember the early 90s WCW jobber tag team, the Ding Dongs?
What the Ding Dongs, weren't they based on penises?
No, they were wrestlers who had bells on them and rang bells in the thing. They were called the Ding Dongs.
Wow.
I would put it to AEW.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Johnson.
Hang on. I'll put it to AEW that they should put Rusev and Miro and Andrade together as a team and call them the Ping Pongs. Ping pong back and forth.
They do ping pong back and forth.
Either that or the in-betweeners.
Oh no, which one's Neil? Which one's which one's going to dance to well, definitely Andrade dancing to Papa Americano, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are we going to see a three-way of that though? Do you think Aleister Black's going to do the same?
It'd be a trio of things.
Does he still wrestle?
Yeah.
So?
No, I'm joking.
Right, big win over Damian Priest that no one remembers.
Yeah.
Damian Priest is a no one nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how far he's fallen.
Everyone on SmackDown forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some weird like toxic masculinity stuff they're doing with one of Pretty Deadly. Is the other one injured or?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I liked Pretty Deadly, but this toxic masculinity thing is not landing.
No,
for me at least. But.
I think it's just their little character, isn't it? Just to play on it, kind of thing. But it's not really working. Then again, what is really working in WWE right now?
Hey, that video you posted in the group chat, Gav.
Yeah.
It's what I was saying the other week. For all I was saying on the show. For all its faults, AEW is just such a more interesting product at the moment in terms of presentation. It may be really long, but the quality of their stuff is just better in every aspect at the moment, in my opinion.
It's certainly
We're like, well, I understand what happened just then. Everyone was like, well, WWE hasn't been that great recently, but still AEW. Right, but so it's hard to dispute, but at the same time,
I really want to get back into it. And then I saw a clip, what was it, with Kenny Omega with a tag team, and they started doing all this hokey pokey.
Oh, is it like the Macarena?
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, you've lost me again. I was just like, nah. I was about to watch it, and I saw that bit, and I was like, oh, no.
But what's the difference between them doing something like that and then having El Grande Americano and the two other Americanos doing their silly stuff, which I think is very entertaining, and I actually think that's actually one of the better parts of.
I'll tell you what it was,
but I don't see any sort of difference.
I'll tell you what it was. It was the Young Bucks as well. Young Bucks again. Sorry. It's how they just got up straight away, and I was just like, what? You're not even going to sell it, kind of thing, and. You just
There-
clothesline and you just
There's
got up.
major selling issues, I'd say, generally in wrestling. AEW is obviously worse for it because AEW is just like spot fireworks display. But like WWE's more guilty of it in the last year, I'd say. Like, especially when you do watch like NXT or just when they've got I don't know, just like some stuff with like some of the mid-carders, they're trying to make the most of their time, and we're just, things are falling apart. It's all fell apart when Roman suddenly became a part-time player. Not that he wasn't before, but when he became not the focus of things. You take him out and things just started crumbling. That's what went wrong in WWE.
And I think with WrestleMania, with The Rock not showing up.
I was about to say The Rock is a huge part of where like the Cena turn went the way it did. Like, and I can't speak for where AEW was at, but WWE is absolutely in a slump. Like, it's a slog getting through some of the TV. I presume you haven't spoken about the women's championship main event on SmackDown yet. Speaking of things falling apart.
Oh my god, no, let's get into that actually. That obviously that was a week ago. That feels like quite a time ago. But yeah, that's that looks awful. Like, and I meant what I put. If I was Jade, I'd look at my face and I'd be like, I'm a pretty woman. I don't need to have this giant hole in my head. I'll just be like, I'll do something else. I've done my Mortal Kombat audition. They're making a film. Let's go and make it happen. Get my stunt double in there for the kicks.
Are we going to get the Becky Lynch effect or not?
Probably not.
In what regard? No, not for Jade.
Yeah.
No, because there's a big difference. Becky Lynch was what's that term they say about like firing the bottle or whatever? Yeah, exactly. So there you get lightning in the bottle. So that Becky was meant to have the big match with with Ronda at the time, and it didn't get to happen. And so it was like people felt cheated that she missed her chance. But also she got busted open and she stood there talking smack, and people were like, wow, this is this big thing. Jade got injured and we saw it on Instagram, and it looks nasty.
She did cut a little promo heading to the camera when it was all dangling about, kind of thing. So I was there thinking, did she get told to go to the camera and do that so that she could get the effect as well? So that's what I was just there thinking.
There's a chance, isn't there? Because it makes her, rightly or wrongly, more interesting for her coming after Nia if they want to go in that direction. I think what Becky had, which I don't feel so much from Jade, is like this organic connection with the crowd to begin with, because the crowd were already kind of picking up that momentum. And so that lightning in a bottle happened when Becky was already sort of on the way up. But I up until the last SmackDown, I usually watch every Jade match sort of not quite like this, but with kind of bated breath of, is this going to hold together or not? And I don't think she was to blame, or certainly not totally to blame, for how much it all fell apart.
Also, I think there's a big timing thing where you got what was similar with Becky Lynch getting all of that momentum behind her was kind of similar to Daniel Bryan getting all that momentum behind him, and similar to Kofi Mania, all that momentum. And the thing is, it's like, oh my God, this person who a couple of months ago we didn't think was in the picture, we're going to push them to WrestleMania's main event. And the timing just... Has anyone else... I think that they're fair comparisons, those three. And there might be others. Are there anyone else that got that kind of momentum where it isn't leading directly into WrestleMania?
Stone Cold.
Is that true though? No, like I think like with Steve Austin, like you could say like he was already turning face. Like after the Austin 316, there was a few months where he was like people starting having the signs. He then broke his neck, and then I think, but that was many months out before WrestleMania. and I think he was already on that trajectory. But I think there's always this huge swell of support around someone like Daniel Bryan, like Kofi Mania, like Becky in that instance. And I think the ingredient is WrestleMania.
Do you know what though, as well? Like, I look at what's her name, Jade, and also Tiff, and they're kind of just the same character to me. There's very much, how can I explain this? They've got the kind of same persona, like where they're pretty much heels, and it's just about, I don't know. I don't get that baby face from either of them. Tiff is actually starting to try a little bit, where she's actually like on the entrance, actually touching the crowd and all that kind of thing. But still, she's got that heel persona kind of thing. So
yeah. Oh, when you said try, I thought you meant like she's starting to try my patience. And I was like, yeah, it's been like that for months.
I was going to say that I don't necessarily mind that in itself, because when a heel character starts getting popular and then they make the official turn to face, sometimes they then just completely change their character, and Tippy's never had to do that.
Yeah.
She's been very much shit since the moment she got on the main roster, or essentially. And she's always like it's a case of like, yeah, you are cheering me, great. I know I'm good too. That sort of trajectory. I see what you're saying. She should be more of a heel character in many ways. But again, I think they're just going with what the crowd wants in that respect. I think with Jade, to talk about catching lightning in a bottle, they had that moment when she returned at the Chamber.
Yeah, that was red.
She got. And I'm not making it all about looks or anything like that, but also the way she appeared as well, with that sort of the Venom style sort of thing, where it looked like she'd been infected by Venom and all that sort of stuff, with and then going in there to attack Naomi, which was just this monster pop and like monster shock moment. And it's like, and from that point, they could have really caught lightning in a bottle and said like, I don't know, I think it was her. I don't know if it was her, but I think it was her. Last thing I remember seeing her, and they could have, and we've discussed on the show before, the way that storyline played out, in our opinion, was not the way that should have gone. And because from that point, it was Naomi admits it and then just gets beaten up by Jade every single week, and that became boring really quickly. And they had Jade. I think they could have really zoned in on this sort of thing of Jade Cargill is this sort of monster as such in the division, and if you piss her off, it's end game for you. And that they could have really honed in on that, and she could easily be the champion now if they kept that persona and kept that momentum going, but they didn't. And some of that is on her for not really growing and getting better. And I don't see any difference in what she's doing now compared to what she was doing at AEW when she started. A huge amount of ways, and that's just Jade talking about. We've talked just about Jade in that match. Let's talk about Nia.
Just very quickly on that, I was going to say I would say AEW arguably used Jade better because it was always like, oh, it's the Goldberg push.
Yeah, exactly.
And what they've done with Jade since she came to WWE is exactly what WWE did with Goldberg when he went to WWE. Yeah. It's like, well, we're going to have you win occasionally and lose occasionally. We'll try to put you in longer matches where we're going to expose all of your flaws. And then actually, if you take it one step further, when Goldberg was, suddenly he was in, I think it was like an elimination chamber or whatever, and it's like, he's going to win the world title. Everyone was ready for it, and it didn't happen. Jade got a world title shot, and it didn't happen. And it's like, why do you fumble these people who are meant to just roll over people?
Yeah, exactly.
When they go for the title, they should just have it and keep it for a while, turn up, make their appearances, and leave.
I got to say, though, last week's botch had nothing to do with Jade, though. That's the only thing. No.
Yeah, I was
the only one that's in the clear with that.
I was uncertain to begin with because it seemed to me that maybe what was supposed to happen is she was supposed to pull the ref. There was something about the way the ref moved on that.
So,
made me think, was Jade supposed to be there? But I've since heard that
Tiff was
supposed to be. Tiff was meant to get there.
Yeah.
Nia, to her credit, before we talk about what else she did, I think saw that Tiff wasn't going to make it, so had to kick out. And then you're in this position that if she was supposed to steal the pin, which I believe was the plan, then you can't kick out and then immediately get pinned.
I think with Nia as well, I think she expected the ref to count the 3 because she would have expected that to happen. So
yeah, but
the ref should have counted the 3. But sorry,
Gav. It just seemed that she got mixed up. I think she was supposed to stay down for Tiffy to come in, and she wasn't that much behind. I don't think there was that much of a gap between her making the save on that pin. I think she accidentally kicked out on that one, thinking she was supposed to kick out that one and lay down for the next one, where it should have been the other way around. She should have stayed there for that one and then kicked out of Tiffany's pin, and then led to the moonsault.
Yeah,
that's how it appeared to me. Anyway, I don't know. I haven't read the stuff about it, but it's how many times now has Nia Jax injured somebody? We've just been talking about Becky. That was her punch in the face. She's injured Jade now. She's injured Kyrie. She's injured. I don't know how many other she's potentially injured and things like that. But I know I know obviously we're not there and we don't know what she's like backstage. Apparently she's a bit of a locker room leader and all this sort of stuff. But
she's the Rock's cousin. That's all she is.
But exactly. If
that's why she's the locker room leader.
But if she's good at that role, leave her backstage.
Yeah.
I know she's like improved a bit since when she came back, but I've never with her.
There was certainly that period where you mentioned what happened with Becky and with Kyrie. That seemed to all be condensed into quite a short period a few years ago. And I thought, for what it's worth, that there had been a lot of improvement. But as far as accidents go, this was a whopper, and it got worse and worse and worse, and made this sort of 5-minute segment feel like about 20 minutes.
Hang on, guys. I've just brought up the statistics here. So in 2018, Nia Jax injured Bayley with a separated shoulder. In 2017, these aren't in chronological order, Charlotte Flair, concussion, possible neck strain. Then Becky Lynch, broken nose and concussion, 2018. Zelina Vega, concussion, 2018. Ember Moon, unspecified shoulder stroke concussion, exasperated prior injury, fairness to her there. Kairi Sane, severe head laceration, nearly career ending. It's 2019 or 2020, it doesn't say. Alexa Bliss, shoulder injury, 2018. Mandy Rose, 2019, separated shoulder. Rhea Ripley, 2023, bruised ribs. Raquel Rodriguez, 2023, whiplash. And Jade Cargill, 2025, facial laceration.
She probably doesn't know her own strength, kind of thing. I don't know.
But she should by now.
Yeah.
We
2015.
We have to. Yeah, we have to apply the same standard that we're applying to Jade, saying, like, David, you said that Jade hasn't really grown since she was in AEW. We're applying that standard to her. We sort of have to do the same for Nia, don't we?
At least Jade hasn't injured anyone. But we know what.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else do we want to say? Oh, yeah. So the other thing I wanted to quickly bounce off of that, I don't think we touched on it here, but I think we may have said it in our group chat or whatever. If there's the referees need to act like referees and actually count the 3.
Yeah.
Because there's been a few times this happened. AEW, WWE, I've seen it like a half a dozen times in the last couple of years where it's like 1, 2, ooh, like that. And everyone's in the arena is just like, that was 3. It's just like, if it's 3, it's 3, and you'll learn next time to kick out.
Yeah. Especially because Tiffy was supposed to win the match anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't have botched the result, even if it was supposed to happen in that moment.
But the thing is she gonna be like penalized? That's probably what's in her head. She's probably like scared to actually go off script. So you take an ear bashing if you go back and everything. So is it that element, or is it a case where they should just let the refs do their job, like, and make it look legit? So
yeah, I think. See, here's the thing. I think you need to protect it looking legit first and foremost, because even though they'll say, "Oh, we're in the entertainment era, everyone knows it's smoke and mirrors and stuff," it's still going to be that every time it happens, someone who's watching decides, "I'm not watching again for the last time."
Yeah.
So I think you need to protect the reality of it first and foremost. You know, and look, this when it comes to doing the Macarena, it's when it comes to El Demonico and Mr. Iguana, things that, you know, you can have fun, but you need to make them make sense. So if you've got someone like Daniel Garcia, where his thing is that he does a dance, if Kenny Omega goes up behind him and sort of like mockingly joins in, and then he turns around, he's like, oh, hey, for a second. But then it needs to be the realization that, wait, you're my opponent. And then they need to fight.
Yeah,
it can't just be, you know, some of these amusing indie videos where it's just like everyone's involved in. Yeah. Like, you can't do that at your indie show for the audience that like it. But if it's on TV, come on, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there was a couple of things that I've seen some botches like for referees before, where like there was a Progress show where the main event was this big tag title match, and the referee there was a like very close, like 2.99% count. I think that was a close fall. The guy who was operating the music didn't know that wasn't the fall, so he did the bell ring and started playing the music, and the referee and everyone's up there going, yeah, and everyone's like, oh, and then the music's still going, and the guy's getting up there going, two, and then it brings the music down, and then they did the fall. The next bit was the final fall. It was just like it built to such crescendo. If they just ended it there, it would have been absolutely perfect. Absolutely going mad for it.
Okay, so how do you fix that problem? Surely it should be that the referee counts to 3, he then goes to the bell keeper.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, then it's like no.
Yeah.
And it's also if you know what the finish is going to be, which is going to lead me to my other thing I've heard when I mean, obviously Dave, you're a wrestler, you probably know more about this than I will, but you're trained at least. And I used to know someone who is a referee in the UK scene, quite established referee now. And he told me years ago about I was sent to him after a show, and he was telling me about a match he'd had between these two guys, and he said the finish, they told him the finish was going to be a 450 splash and things like that, but they decided just at the last moment to do this move that was originally going to go into it, and they said, right, that's going to be the finish, 1, 2, and of course they didn't tell him that they were going to finish there, and he went down to do that, to do a near fall, and he was like things like that. So then he just yelled at him 450, and did the thing again, and told them afterwards, you cannot do that. These were like younger guys. They didn't like they're younger guys. They didn't really necessarily know the ins and outs of the communication to the ref, and told them off basically. Says, I say, you cannot do that. If you tell me what the finish is going to be, that's what I know the finish is going to be. You can't do that to me, as that makes me look like an idiot as well. Apart from anything else. Again,
like wait for the referee to indicate to the bell keeper,
or just keep the ref out. Like, well, you got to keep the ref in. But I mean, like,
no, you go ahead.
Like, you talk to the ref during the match anyway. So, like, the ref normally would, you plan it beforehand, or as you said, with what the finish is, but you communicate with the ref anyway, and the ref will communicate with you, and he'll normally tell you how much time you've got left.
This is so simple. The referee's decision is final. So I'll give the example. Do you remember 2 or 3 years ago, may even be longer now, where Mox got injured on AEW? I forget who his opponent was. It may have been, wasn't it? Right. And he was just like, pin me. And the referee didn't do the pin. And then like people were mad saying like, come on, like sort of thing. So if the wrestler's injured and he's like, I've just got to lay here, I mustn't kick out. 1, 2, if the referee does or doesn't know, or if that's all a sudden change, or it was meant to be a false finish, it's like hit the 3 if it's a 3. And then when the ref goes to the timekeeper, that's it. Now the music guy knows to press his button, and everything follows because the referee actually should be in that responsibility.
Again, you can actually, like, if it's a storyline you're trying to tell, you can actually change that storyline anyway to make it fit as well. So should be, I don't know.
Right. So in terms of other stuff, obviously there's we spoke a little bit on Andrade returning this week on AEW. There's stuff from Raw this week, there's stuff from AEW, SmackDown's tonight. NXT are gearing up to what are they going to do with TNA after they've had this face-to-face with Survivor Series matches? Is that the end of their crossover? Go on, Dave.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, because I didn't see all the show, but I have listened to sort of one of those sort of post-show podcasts that review the shows. Listen to and about NXT this week, and they pointed out some very interesting things. So I think this last week's edition of NXT was probably had some of the best and worst storytelling in one show. So they're gearing up for this event. They originally were called Invasion.
Yeah.
Now they're calling it Showdown for political reasons and real life reasons, all that sort of stuff. And they started off. So there was something happened at TNA the other week. Hi, Dev.
Yeah.
There's something happened at TNA the other week where Ash by Elegance, also known as Dana Brooke, had to vacate the Knockouts Championship due to a private reason. They're not saying what it is. They're keeping it private. Fair play to her. I hope she's okay. It's what's good. But they did a show. It was on their last pay-per-view or / special event last week. And NXT's Kalani Jordan ended up winning the Knockouts Championship. So she's now in the same position that Trick Williams is in. That she's an NXT wrestler with a TNA Championship. So they did a thing this week where the new men's champion, Ricky Starks and Jace Jane were put in charge of naming their teams. And then they had the team captains of TNA being announced by Santino. He announced Mike Santana as the captain of the men's team. And then said, I don't trust, as he said, I don't trust Trick Williams to be the representative for TNA in the men's match, so I'm giving it to Mike Santana. However, there is someone on the NXT roster I do trust, and it's the new Knockouts champion, Kalani Jordan. So this person who's been champion there for less than a week is now the team captain for TNA on their show. And her partners are The Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, and Mara Sade, who was Jakara Jackson, who was also NXT, just was one of the releases from a few months ago. So it's an all NXT team. It's all like Team WCW from the Survivor Series a number of years ago. It's just like everyone's just a wrestler, and there's not one original one on there. So they've done that. So it's this weird sort of dichotomy of this idea that this person's being trusted, where clearly one of those matches is going to be some sort of turn or twist, and there's going to be someone turning on somebody, all that sort of stuff. But it also did have a really good bit of storytelling on the show, where they were setting up this match between Ethan Page defending the NXT North American title against Mustafa Ali, who made a surprise appearance on the show. And his reasoning for coming out to challenge Ethan Page was that however many years ago, 2 years ago, I was due a title shot of that title on the special event against Dominic when he was the champion at the time. And they were building up that. And instead of getting that title shot, he got fired. And so he's basically, and he says, because his whole character now is that of a politician. So he basically said, I have politics my way into getting a title shot against you and getting the title that I should have won 2 years ago. He's like,
oh, wow.
As far as storytelling goes and reasoning behind something, I thought that was so well done, and it makes me think, why can't you be this good with everything else, or at least majority of stuff? This made so much sense for Ali to be challenging Ethan for this title, and he explained it so eloquently and so well. It was less than like a few minutes speech. It was just like it was just a clever bit of storytelling you don't see on WWE TV a lot of the time.
Right.
So okay, what's your take on why you think that is, Dave?
I mean, it's this thing of, I guess it's just the different writers and different things and different. No doubt, Ali would have brought that into it and suggested it and said, "Hey, I was due a title shot here. I got fired. But maybe this is something you can do for the showdown event." And I mean. This is the thing. I can't explain it because it's just weird that that was okayed as a really good bit of storytelling, but yet it was also okayed that this NXT wrestler is captaining TNA and saying TNA just
weird.
And they're also having a massive feud fight at the end when Santino says at the beginning, "Oh no, it's going to be called Showdown. It's going to be a friendly competition between two companies." It's like, why are they so angry at each other there at the end? It's like,
yeah. And what happens? And what happens after this? That's the big question. But first of all, Dev.
So when Santino said there's a person he could trust to lead the women's team, he had two very good options he didn't use.
His daughter,
and Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace though. Where? Okay, because I haven't seen this. Like, how does she doesn't? She's not in the match, is she?
So
she would. They so should. Well, let me just quickly say they so should have used her for the divided loyalty aspect.
They are. They kind of are. They're doing that with her and Joe Hendry.
Yeah, because Joe Hendry and her had a segment saying, "We're both NXT and TNA. We have to be part of the show," and Joe Hendry was like, "We will be."
There'll be referees. There'll be guest referees.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so one thing, like we haven't spoken on this show, Ricky Saints now being the NXT champion. I don't know what I feel about this. Like the NXT title, it kind of goes to people that make it feel like a absolute mid-card title, because and that's not unlike the likes of Trick or whatever, because they'll move up. I just get the feeling that when you had Ethan Page like a year ago, whenever it was, a few months ago, and Ricky Stark now, it just feels like this is a mid-card championship. Go on, Dev.
See, I was hoping they would keep the title on Oba for 2 more weeks because I wanted to see Oba versus Moose.
They've done that.
Now, as leaders of Team TNA and Team NXT.
Who is the leader of Team TNA? Mike Santana, right?
Mike Santana.
Yeah.
He's being pushed as the guy to knock Trick Williams off the top.
Yeah.
Bound for Glory.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do we think that Obafemi's headed main roster bound? Like they've been hearing a lot of stuff about how ready he is and how like bringing someone as problematic as Brock Lesnar back when you've got this beast down in NXT ready and sorry, Gav?
I was there saying that should be a good showdown. Sorry,
between Oba and Brock.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but that's what I mean. So, like him being the world champion of NXT, it feels like if he do you remember a few years ago when they did Survivor Series and suddenly NXT were the ones going up against the main roster? Right. It feels like it was that mold of this is the next generation, and I'm just waiting to start taking world titles or main event titles on the main roster. Whereas Ricky Starks, I don't know. It just feels like the old ECW brand when Tommy Dreamer was world champion, and you're like, oh, this belt means nothing.
No, I haven't been watching it like NXT. I need to watch it though. But has Ricky Starks, well, it's the Saints now, has he been good, like to the same level he was in AEW, or?
I've not watched it as consistently recently as I had been, but from what I had seen, he's again. We're talking about Jade and Tiffany earlier about this. He's not in a position he should be. He shouldn't be a face. He's a natural heel.
Yeah.
He was a heel champion, and there seemed to be a little bit of big brothering to sort of like people like Javon Evans and people like that on there that he was doing that could lead on to him being that sort of Austin Aries sort of thing. Face now, but then he'll gravitate to being a heel again sooner rather than later, which hopefully would happen. But he's been all right. He's Ricky Saints. He's always going to be like watchable at least. But this is what I'm saying. It's just inconsistent. You've got this bits where the storytelling one moment is brilliant, next minute it's just meh.
Right. So who would you put the title on? Like, if it's not Oba, like.
Of the people that are on there at the moment, I would say Javon Evans is probably the most likely guy to be on there in terms of that. Saying about it being a mid-card title, I mean, also it's always been that since they rebranded NXT anyway. It's never had that sort of, because it was always like put on the big indie, whoever the big hot indie star was at the time coming back, wasn't it? So that's a black.
Yeah, but it's had loads of moments where you're like, you could look at someone when they've had it before they'd move up to the main roster, and it's like, okay, so if it was like, because didn't who was it, Kevin Owens, who was NXT champion, and they brought him in and beat John Cena.
Yeah.
So this is ways where they've had real times where they could be like, well, NXT actually, like, we're just waiting to prove that we're better than the main rosters, and we put on these better matches, and we can go better than you guys anyway. But I don't know, like, just with the current storyline, it might have been fun for, although it might just be like, so Trick has got the TNA title, and then someone from TNA should take the NXT title.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems a little bit lopsided to me that all NXT people going and grabbing the belts, and the same is true for AAA as well.
Okay, so what if, like, Ricky Saints as the NXT champion, like, it would make no sense to turn on NXT and join forces with TNA, but, like, I don't know, if you had something where someone defected, because this is obviously the whole WWF versus WCW, who loyalties, Kurt Angle was the spy kind of thing. Yeah. So something like this is going to happen somewhere. But
well, I think with the WWF WCW one, famously, like, the part of the big reason why the invasion back then did not work is they had none of the stars of WCW.
Yeah.
All of the stars were at home sitting out their fat contracts. Whereas they don't have that sort of albatross around their neck for this. They've got seemingly the whole roster available to them. So I'd like to think they could sort of keep it relatively pure, for want of a better word, and not have too much, I represent this team now, and now I represent this team, and it got so convoluted back then.
Yeah, it's always just interesting as well, just because Ethan Page was in TNA before he was in AEW. The Hardys are team. There is a different match, but they're TNA representatives. And this is like
the NXT tag titles.
but this is like the whole thing over and over again. When like what they just did with CMLL, and it was like, all of their matches have just got, and actually even the same with AEW with what was it called, Forbidden Door. It was just like, wow, there wasn't too many New Japan guys on there, and the CMLL thing, it was just like every single match had just got Finn Balor in or other people like coming in from NXT or WWE. But go on, Dev.
Wasn't Ethan Page also in TNA?
That's what I just said. Yeah. He famously, didn't he have a match against himself?
Where he died or something.
Yeah. It was one of these cinematic. And I think the story is that he filmed it himself and just sent it off to them, and they put it on TV.
Yeah, because they wouldn't do anything. He said they would not set up or give him a full production thing for it, so he had to do it himself. And he said it didn't come out the way he wanted to. It was pretty bad and all that sort of stuff. But also, he did return there recently as NXT North American champion and challenged Joe Hendry when he was the champion there. So has gone back. They have sort of done that story with him. But yeah, when it goes from there, I don't know. But it's just like, I mean, there's another note I probably should say that the knockouts team for Team TNA probably wouldn't be the way it is now if it weren't for the fact that obviously what we mentioned about Ashley Elegance, obviously she would have been part of it as the champion, arguably, and they obviously got a couple of other people there that they're not going to touch with the barge pole, namely Tessa Blanchard and Masha Slamovich. Right. So they're not going to, they're obviously the things that are surrounding those two, they're not going to go there.
And what about Alberto as well? Like, is he going into TNA?
Alberto's not enough now.
Del Rio.
Yeah.
Is he in TNA?
Oh no, I thought he was, but I think he's CML. I can't speak.
He was
in AAA, and then
AAA, wasn't he? And then they quietly shuffled when they acquired AAA. Went, okay, you just go away.
He was their champion.
Brock Lesnar, so
he was their champion when WWE was like, "You're not champion anymore. Give his belt to Vikingo."
Yeah.
Like all the footage of Vikingo's title win is like very carefully cropped.
Blurred.
So he beat someone. You just can't see that it was Del Rio.
Right.
And it's the reason why most of the Mexican audiences will boo Vikingo, because they just don't. They thought that Alberto was done wrong. And
they were chanting for him, and then didn't Mysterio sort of say like, "Oh, he'll be back," sort of thing. So time will tell. Right. So other than that, when is the next WWE pay per view? That's Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, yeah, next week.
Not this weekend. That's like
next
weekend. But
next weekend.
And what have we got? So we've got Cody and Seth.
Is this the first WWE PLE for a long time that's not counter programming anything at all?
Yeah.
You could quite
good for them.
Although a funny thing is, due to baseball, AEW has to counter program in Showdown.
Oh, really?
Because baseball's moved. Because of baseball, they had to move AEW to Tuesday this week.
Yeah, that's why they're doing Showdown, so that they can get a bigger rating for
yeah. Okay, so far it looks like let's just bring it up actually, because I've got it from the WWE site, so we get a nice graphic, nice visual for it. This is probably almost the entire card, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's one more matches to be added, isn't there?
Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they usually top out 5 or 6 nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'd say AJ versus Cena is the most interesting thing on the card.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about AJ Lee. AJ Lee versus Becky maybe get added. I don't know.
Oh, I think that's too soon for that. Yeah, I think that's too soon because obviously she's just had, for as good as the showing was, it was a tag match, and you could. Yeah, so I don't know. Her fitness is probably fine, but I think they should give it a bit more time on that. Obviously, everything with Oscar, Kari, Rhea, Io has been interesting the last couple of weeks. How Rhea became a Smurf, and it's one of these big mysteries in wrestling. And what actually is the mist? Why is it so toxic, and yet you can have it in your mouth?
I thought she resembled She-Hulk, but
She-Hulk, Smurf, She-Hulk, Avatar. It was all up for grabs.
I've enjoyed the storyline apart from this past Monday. This past Monday was a bit too over the top. It was just a bit.
What? Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, so Io, she come down the ring, and she's crying. And it's just it's been a week. Why are you crying still? I know it's episodic, but come on.
I tell you what, this is the other thing which I was saying earlier about protects realism. You don't come down to the ring crying about something that happened a week ago.
Yeah, exactly.
You had the entire week to not be in that sort of place.
Because I really hate it when people if they got smacked. The last thing that you saw on Raw last week was that they got smacked. Yeah. And then the next week, and then 5 minutes later, they forget about it. And it's just
But the worst one for me, I've mentioned it recently on the show, was the whole Rhea Dominic. Rhea was injured, and then when she comes back, she's like, "Why haven't you called?" It's like, "Why haven't you called?" Yeah. Literally, what we've been assuming you're backstage, traveling around with your fella for the last few months.
Exactly.
Wait, so you just haven't seen each other at all?
It's even the Usos, they never see each other outside of the ring.
Yeah.
You're twins?
Yeah. The Usos have been dreadful. Jay especially, the act, the Io and Asuka and all that stuff, I think is very, very melodramatic. And they're giving it some.
Yeah.
But I prefer that to whatever Jay's doing at the moment. Is just I'm so bored of this bloodline stuff. Bored.
I don't know how you reinvigorate. The problem is everything still got it was great 3 years ago, 2 years ago, but now it's going off and it's stale. And what we've still got with Seth and Heyman is the remnants of that. It's not a fresh break. The way it could have been a fresh break is if Heyman had just got a new Paul Heyman guy and it was Bron Breakker, and then eventually you could be like, if Brock is back, it's like, oh, how does he feel about this? Yeah. And they're just like, oh, Paul Heyman's just going to announce Brock, because it's like you didn't put any storyline behind that. You just announced him, right? And so you've got all these remnants, like even on Raw, Cody was to Seth like, oh, you were my shield, and I thought you were my friend. He was like, we were never friends. It's like, well, actually, the whole point of the storyline was that, well, actually, they kind of were never friends, but then they found the common ground, and then they became friends.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're still playing out storyline. The long-term storylines are great, except for this is not a callback. It's just still hanging on, stretching on from.
Well,
go on, Ian.
Sorry, you say long-term storylines are great, and they are, but great stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then when you get to the end, you tell a different story. Whereas this is just like petering out to nothing. And
it is.
You've got not Jacob. You've got Solo on SmackDown doing vignettes every week, introducing a different member of his family tree for nothing. No, so they've got bloodline stuff on Raw, and they've got diet bloodline stuff on SmackDown. It's just, I'm over it.
And they've killed off Jacob as well. Like the aura and everything that he had. It's just like, what are you doing with him? Like, he was a killer. That's your main event ready to happen.
We talked about lightning in a bottle earlier. They had it with Jacob, and it's gone.
Well, you know what? If they can get it back, though, there's no better person than put him against than Drew.
Yeah, I'm excited about
that. I was quite happy to see him on the highlights thing on YouTube said that they put him against Drew. I thought it's a fresh match. It's a fresh feud.
For both of them.
Yeah, as long as they don't, in the words of RuPaul, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. The way you can do it with Jacob might be that in the Royal Rumble, he is like the guy that just eliminates 10 people. Yeah, just absolutely obliterates people. Yeah, and you need to have some reason why he gets really angry and seems dangerous. Because that's, he's a werewolf. He's this monster. That's what you need to do there. Everything, like with the Usos, it was like, oh, there's the bloodline. And now Sammy turned on Roman. Then Jay turned on Roman. Then Jimmy turned on Roman. Then Jimmy turned on Jay. And now they're back again. But now Jay's teasing that he's the bad guy here. And it's just like, it's a recycled photocopy where it gets weaker and weaker every time.
Yeah.
They have the aura that Jay doesn't.
Yeah, Jay never had the aura. I'm so pleased, in a sense, that the world will finally see through my eyes that I've been saying this the whole year. They made this guy tap out Gunther, and it is like in less than a year. We're just like, oh, sick of him. He's got no aura. He had an entrance. He said a word yeet at a press conference that seemed fun. Let's run with this for the next 18 months. But go on, Dev.
Saying that, though, according to The Undertaker, back in the day, Vince had a habit of taking random shit wrestlers would say backstage and making it their thing. Because you were saying...
Why is Triple H doing this now?
Because it's his doofus son-in-law.
Yeah, true.
Who can't book? I mean,
yeah. Well, he can, but he recycles everything every week. But what I was going to say was, why don't they have Grayson Waller doing anything at the pay-per-view?
Well, because he sucks. Because he sucks.
Well, there's that.
You know what? You're talking about selling earlier, the Young Bucks, and people don't sell things anymore. Did you not see the video he put up on his socials this week? Whereas I saw him on TV, he was taking the top rope destroyer from Penta, and this is him going around Disney World in a electric scooter vehicle, saying, "This is what Penta's done to me, and no one cares. I'm going around Disney World, and I'm miserable."
Excellent.
Yeah.
I don't mind him at all, actually, but
I feel like putting him with Theory was a bad idea because Theory is the problem. Grayson Waller himself is pretty good.
I think him at the New Day is a good mix.
I can't stand Grayson Waller's personality, his gimmick. His presentation. I don't really enjoy any.
He's doing a really good job, isn't he?
Well, okay. Do you know what? No, it's go away heat for me. Like this is what they'd call back in the day X-Pac heat. You know,
Yeah.
it should be change the channel heat. But no, you bring up such a good point because making someone. Do I want to see him get beaten up? It's just like I'm disappointed that he's on television. There's a difference. Like, okay. Let me ask you, who is it? Like, when is the last time that there was someone where you're like, I want to see them get beaten up or get defeated in a match?
Becky Lynch.
Ludwig Kaiser.
What? Why Ludwig Kaiser?
What's he done?
He's like this arrogant prick who like had this whole era. Basically, he was like 90s Triple H, but when like he was in the whole French Blue Blood gimmick.
Oh no! No, he was great, and he's even better now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like the Los Americanos idea that there's a group of them because now it means there's an explanation for why he isn't the same El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Because there's a faction. If there was only
like Dudley's,
then you literally could have relived the Undertaker versus the Undertaker by having El Grande versus El Grande.
Are we gonna get the real original Chad Gable coming back and being the what's his name again?
No, they're going to do the Sin Cara thing where he'll come. They'll do the Sin Cara thing where he'll come back and he'll be like the evil.
Didn't AEW try that?
Yeah, AEW doing that now with El Clone, who is, as I said in the
group chat, what is that?
So they've been doing this thing with hologram. Where he's been coming out and during his entrances or during his appearances, the screen's been glitching and it's been like saying new thing loaded or something like that. Oh, new clone coming soon and all that stuff. And he got injured during the beatdown segment on Collision, I think, where he's going to go get Carl Fletcher. It's going to be like his undefeated streak versus the TNT title. And so he was out. They replaced him with Orange Cassidy, but Hologram came out W and attacked Orange, costing him the match. And two things happened that I know I said earlier I much prefer AEW, but they do make these stupid mistakes. First of all, they've still debuted this new El Clone character because he took the hologram mask off to reveal it was a darker version of him. But hologram's going to be out until the end of the year, so there's a pointless bringing him in pretty much now. But also, when you actually watch the actual footage, he goes to take the mask off, and the director cuts away from the reveal to shoot in the ring. They cut to a shot of Kyle O'Reilly wandering around the ring with the cameraman in the foreground before going back to the mask unveiling, and he's just there. As this new sort of thing, and the moment's just lost for TV viewers entirely.
It's good to know that it's not just WWE that do that with huge moments. I'll never forget the Edge
AJ
where they cut away from his first spear in how long,
or AJ's debut where it just like this for 3 minutes. Dev.
Well, the easiest thing they could have done is they could have just have Hologram show up and attack him and have that run until the original comes back, then reveal him as a clone.
Was what they did with Sin Cara, the Sin Cara thing. That was the thing, wasn't it? It was the evil Sin Cara, but he was disguised as the good Sin Cara for all that time until actual Sin Cara came back and went, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
They did that. They could do that, do Hologram versus El Clone and do Andrade Americano versus El Grande Americano. 6-man tag, but all the Los Americanos versus Gable and the Creed brothers. Just go with it.
Does Gable get the Creed? Yeah, you just said the Creeds, right? Yeah, bring them in and have them as the alternate, and then that could even be the tripping of the switch that puts them back into their deadly serious American-made kind of. Yeah, because they lost such a. Have them just destroy the goofiness and
but even that then, because the Americano thing, obviously with it being Gable, he could come back as Americano and he could have the Creeds in masks as well, and it would be the trio Los Americanos versus Los Americanos. Book it now, Hunter. I've done it for you.
But it'll be quite interesting to see whether Gable, because Gable was so adamant, because what they're not doing with Kaiser is having Ludwig Kaiser on screen and El Grande Americano. That was the whole thing with Gable, is he was like, I'm not him. So is there going to be a really fun moment of him coming back and then having to say, that's not Americano because I was, no, wait, I wasn't, was I? Like, it's got a lot of routes they can go down for sure.
Speaking of Sin Cara, by the way, do you know what he's doing nowadays?
He's Mystico.
Mystico. The latest thing he's done is promote the new Pokemon game in a special CMLL pay-per-view.
Good for him.
You've been doing screenshots of this CMLL Pokemon show. I don't know Pokemon, so it's all lost on me. But was it one show, or has it just been a series of? It's like shows?
One show to promote the DLC that's coming out, the new game that's coming out, because one of the characters that got a upgraded version is a luchador bird.
Right.
A luchador
bird. Based on that, they built up a whole show where it's like Machamp from the original series, like fighting against this bird, and then we listened to a whole pay-per-view for CMLL, basically. We had Sin Cara and H-Zero from H-Zero, yeah, as the two main Pokemon fighting each other. So they were dressed up as the characters.
This whole thing just sounds really terrible to me. Like I don't know. Like
it's like the Mountain Dew. It's like the Mountain Dew match, but the whole pay-per-view.
What was that other match they had recently where it was named after some guy? It was Sheamus and it was like Jack. What was it called?
Donnybrook.
What are these sponsorships?
The Donnybrook thing is a Irish brawl. Yeah. It's not like a sponsorship. Yeah, it's what they call it. In Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't have a Pokemon Go match.
The last sponsored one was the Usos, wasn't it? With the what was it? The
electromagnet.
And then the Usos come out and go, everyone get your phones out. That was brilliant. Like it was the first thing I did. Everyone get your phones out. That's it. Point all the 5G at us.
We know why it came back to bite him in the arse, didn't it? Because he hit himself in the head with the chair.
Maybe that's why it all went wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did 5G to the face.
Yeah.
So one thing I've they have now confirmed that John Cena's last match will be at Saturday night's main event in December, which is not even on a pay-per-view. I still think they need to pay whatever money and just say we're going to run an injury angle. And whoever does it, like people seem to be really behind Dominic Mysterio for some reason. So have him attack John Cena, have it be that John Cena is injured, and he's like, "You'll never see John Cena again. I retired him without even lacing up my boots," or something like this, and just delay it to WrestleMania. What kind of wait? This is almost worse than Undertaker ending his career at a
show.
No, see, yes, that was his last match, but even Survivor Series, 30 years of the Undertaker, and he retired, and in front of 0 people.
Yeah,
it's like, why couldn't you just wait until WrestleMania and even just do the same thing without a match, just in front of people? Craziness. But go on, Deb.
The main reason they're pushing for Dominic Mysterio is that the only title Cena's missing is the IC title. That's why everyone wants the last match is for him to beat Dominic for the title.
Oh, Dom should totally win if that's the case.
That's what I was going to say. I'll put Dom over then.
Yeah.
You go out, you play.
Dom could really use it. Yeah. He could really remind people forever that I'm the man that retired John Cena, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because Goldberg got retired by Gunther, but he isn't. When Gunther's, whenever he's regularly back or whatever, he isn't going to even be mentioning Goldberg. You might get him mention Goldberg once every 3 years. Dominic Mysterio could build the next 5 years of his character of, well, I'm the guy that retired John Cena.
I think what's better for his character, because he's really found his niche in being this sniveling little coward.
Yeah.
And so what if Cena challenges him and Dom says no? Dom just goes, no, I've got a doctor's note, I'm not doing it. And then once Cena's gone, Sheamus, who is the other like Grand Slam in waiting, comes and sort of challenges him at WrestleMania, maybe for the
And Dom says no.
I've got to commend that Raw with Dom.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
What, this week?
Yeah. Chef's kiss. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my biggest thought after that was like when he dashes out of the ring and he just does this cowardly falling over. I'm just like, Jesus, I'd be crippled for a week even if I took the bump just escaping the ring. You know? But yeah, no, so it's interesting because Dom forever can lean into lie, cheat, steal, Eddie Guerrero stuff.
Yeah.
And it feels so natural, even though in a sense, like they genuinely did work together. And that was a big storyline in Eddie Guerrero's WWE career. But other than the fact that, this is my kid. And at that time, Dom just pretty much stood there as a prop.
Yeah.
But now he's running with it so much, and it doesn't feel unearned. It doesn't feel stolen. It feels like
organic.
It feels like a rebirth of this thing which we tragically lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, it doesn't feel like a lie. It wasn't a stolen gimmick, and we don't feel cheated.
Yeah. Oh, Dom cheated. You are Korea.
That was brilliant how he done it, though. That was brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So anything else important on anyone's mind before we start to head towards the finish? Dev?
DC Comics just announced a Justice League and AEW comic, and everyone is posting pictures of Christian meeting Batman and saying, "I heard your father's dead."
Oh my God, that's terrible. Okay, so how is it because they're both like connected to Warner Brothers?
Warner, yeah.
That's crazy. Like that. Like even if I was DC Comics, I'd be like, let's try to make the WWE deal because this is basically telling WWE to go and make a deal with Marvel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it's an interesting crossover. The artwork of it, they didn't. I'll bring it up on Twitter, like AEW DC. It didn't inspire a lot for me. It had just Batman in the middle of a bunch of AEW wrestlers. And I want to see some more interesting pairings, really.
It's like a really weird cosplay convention, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, my internet obviously hasn't gone, but it's just like no results found. AEW DC Comics. What's wrong with this? Oh, well, something went wrong, I guess. Never mind that.
Have, like, the Hell in a Cell music while we wait for David's computer to go. Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah. I do have some. I always forget to use them. What do I have here? Right. And
there you go.
There you go. Got a bell. I think the rest of this is just like these terrible, like 1990s NWA jobber music. Let's hear one. Oh, that sounds a bit. Things that is like porn music. Okay, here's it. Let's do a quiz. So this isn't a quiz, right? Okay, look. So these are the musics that are built into StreamYard. I'll play them for a few seconds and tell me what wrestler they would fit perfectly, and we'll do this because there isn't. This will be fun.
Mark Henry, but yeah.
Thanks for chocolate, Mark Henry. Yeah.
Who?
Shui Wang Yang.
90s Shawn Michaels. Rocket Shawn Michaels.
Oh, come on. No, look, this is Brad Armstrong territory. This is like WCW jobber gimmick territory. I can imagine Chris Champagne Canyon. Like, he's lost the Mortis gimmick and that's what he's coming out to. Okay, let's see what this one is.
Oh, this is
NWO.
Oh, what did you say, Dev?
Skip Sheffield.
Skip Sheffield, maybe.
Okay. No, I've got Crash Holly in my head, but
yeah, that would work as well.
Yeah, this is like really low level Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I guess the real question is it better or worse than Death Rebel?
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's hear this one.
It's a
Car Noir.
Wendy Chu, the sleepy girl.
Who did you say, Dave?
Wendy Chu from NXT, the sleepy demon.
Yeah.
Or the Wyatts before it breaks.
Oh,
into
hang on,
some
wait a
really
second. Just 1
cheesy
second. Just
lane.
try this out. Listen to this. Coming down the aisle, Orange Cassidy. It works. It works. Right, okay, let's check this next one. Oh, these might just all be shit now. Ooh, might be building something. Be copyright free if they're given them on this thing as well.
That's like my version of Kuba.
Street Profits.
Street Profit could be.
Private Party.
I was about to say, yeah.
Oh, it's like Pretty Deadly.
I was going to say WCW 3 count, and they're going to start doing some songs for it.
Oh yeah.
I got you, girl. Yeah, it's 3 count, isn't it? Okay, we'll do 2 more because this is taking longer than I expected.
What's Wyatt?
I was about to say this is more Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatts.
Wyatts.
Yeah. Also,
To
Dave might
me,
get this.
This is a TNA theme where they're trying to sound like the Wolfpack theme from WCW.
I was getting that.
So Conan comes
TNA
out
Wolfpack.
really sad. But they're like, yeah, we've got like a Wolfpack theme for you, and it's this.
Yeah.
And Conan's just like, I'm going.
Oh, it's actually like computer game. This could be hologram.
Could be. Okay, this is the last one. Let's hope it's good. Oh shit.
Stardust. Stardust.
Hello, ladies.
Okay, I want something a bit more on. Let's listen to this.
Did you say hello, ladies? Dave? The ATA.
Headbangers.
Headbangers. That works. Yeah, I totally get that one. Well, there you go. Right, so that was fun. We'll do these for some more.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of royalty-free music. So
Also,
Oh, sorry.
Dave, I put the images on the Facebook chat of the AEW stuff,
the AEW stuff.
the DC Comics.
Oh, okay. Hang on. It's difficult for me to bring up on the screen from the chat.
Well, so while you're finding that, Dave, I was going to point out that obviously we were delayed for. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kenny up front, isn't it? Yeah.
It seems to be, yeah.
Of course, it's Kenny up
So
front.
literally, there's Nightwing in there. There's Wonder Woman. But these aren't paired off with any. Oh my god! So Mercedes is definitely going over Wonder Woman, isn't she? Definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
What just happened?
Went right through. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen the final scene of season 2 of Twin Peaks where Kyle MacLachlan headbutts the mirror and there's a little shriek? And it was exactly the same as that.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm totally going to put that in the room chat, a little mishmash video of those 2 bits.
Right, so just very quickly coming back to this, the storyline I would do, because it looks like they're all fighting together, and when is the Justice League going to be like, shit, there's no Superman? They're like, oh, we don't have Superman. We'd better call up Tony Khan, right? What I would have is I'd have Lex Luthor be like, we need like super soldiers, and then just kidnap the AEW wrestlers and like brainwash them or something, and like turn them into like superhuman versions. And so then it's DC versus AEW. Well, anyway, welcome to Geek Battle, guys. Right, anyway, yeah, go on.
Also, there's one image above it. If you just see it, if you look.
Yeah,
at
I saw it.
Yeah. Also, like the Christian meeting Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing they could do, if they have the balls, I really wanted to put Peacemaker into that comic.
See, that's dodgy territory again. So that's what's weirdest about it. Maybe Warner Brothers, they were like, Peacemaker, WWE.
Is that John
Black
Cena?
Adam, WWE. We're pissed off a little bit. But but obviously John Cena's still there, so.
Got a question.
Aren't they a bit of hot ball with Peacemaker anyway? Because they've taken out a dance or something from Fortnite. Because apparently it's was revealed on the very recent edition of Peacemaker that it's something to do with the Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I've had to say, right, we'll refund everybody who's bought this one.
I think they've now said that they're changing the dance, and then you can get a refund if you want. But Gav, you were about to say something?
No, I'm going further, a different field now.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you think, WWE is doing all this bad booking right now because they're going to be selling to Saudi soon? Do you think?
What would be why would that help them?
Because TKO owe a lot of money.
Yeah,
they're in the shit ton of debt.
So, but if they do bad booking, wouldn't that devalue them?
But it's WWE. Like Saudi ain't got a clue. They've been asking for Yokozuna and whatnot,
Yeah.
So they'll still buy high and everything.
Do you mean that TKO will actually look to sell WWE as a company?
Yeah.
To become a Saudi-owned entity? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking...
Terrifying thought, even more so than what we're already living through.
Okay, so if you had the choice then, either Saudi, for whoever that means, is buying it, or Tony Khan, going back a couple of years when Vince sold it, he was like, I'd be interested. Would you rather Tony Khan bought it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100 times yes.
Well, look what happened when he bought Ring of Honor. You go on.
The only thing that'd be good
not the same.
The time frame. We can actually stay up and watch it here, but it'll be a reasonable time. But apart from that,
Yeah, go on, Dev.
Right. Okay, so I know this is really stupid, but this is literally what's happening in Saudi Arabia now. The kids who are growing up with all this money have now grown up and have adult money. So there's one guy buying up all the game companies, and there's one guy buying up all the sports companies. They're 30-something-year-old kids, basically, compared to the 60-year-old sheikhs I had it before.
Yeah.
So they're trying to buy up everything they can, and they're smart enough to realize what they're buying. So.
Still, TKO. Did you see the other thing about the cost of the tickets for John Cena's last match?
Yeah.
Front row was $6,000 or something. Or was it 13 grand?
Yeah,
it was 13 grand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And
really big for that match. I'm sorry, I don't know if Dom is really the right one for that match.
But then you've got WrestleMania, where the cheapest ticket right up in the gods is $800.
Yeah,
for the cheapest ticket.
Ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah. Dev.
So I know about this because the meetings are stupid about this. So Vince, his one saving grace is in his egotistical mind.
Carefully there.
You know me, I don't care about what I look like, what I'm saying. But Vince, his one saving grace was he wanted everyone to watch WWE, so he'd make the tickets as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. TK is going insane and saying Vince really undercharged you. You're charging 1% of what he should be charging.
I think actually something that's happening, because one of the things that eking back over ever so slightly towards geek battle territory for a second, something that's been big in the news this week is that Microsoft have done a big increase on how much you have to pay for Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And I think these companies are are there enough people that are willing to pay it? And we're just going to test it. And unless people really don't, then they'll find, actually we can.
Yeah.
And obviously that's what they did with UFC, and that's what they're now doing with WWE. And they're like, okay, we're still selling out, so.
It's part of the live event thing as well, isn't it? Because you look at Oasis tickets and concert tickets and theatre tickets even.
Yeah.
Everything is just going like this, and as long as people are buying it, That's
Yeah.
You know, that's going to stay.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, it's a money making scheme, isn't it? Like that's what businesses are for. But yeah, it's a bit bad, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, guys. On this note, let's begin to wrap things up here. So let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. Starting with Ian, where can the people find you?
You can find me here on Slam Jam next time.
Awesome, Dev.
You find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my wrestling recommendation this week is the Penta and the Penta match with Kairi, Io, and Mayu Iwatani, all from Lucha Underground.
Okay. Gav.
Sorry. You don't see me. I'll follow you. Don't worry.
Okay, Dave.
Just search David Jervis Green or Degrino on X, and my final comment I want to make, because we obviously missed last week, was that that AEW All Out shat all over WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, like
where ESPN's own reviewers said it was a Monday.
Yes.
That. Well, do you know what? Like, we could just touch on that ever so quickly. The amount of people saying why did they do that?
Yeah.
You know, why did you buy something big? And it's like, well, we scored a C. It's like, well, then you're the fool then, if you're not even going to hype it up after one show. Right, but anyway, my name is Dave Pistansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and everywhere else at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. Smash the subscribe button here on the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show YouTube channel, as well as any of the other platforms it's on, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, etc. And with that, until next time, stay safe. Always stay extreme. Keep slamming and jamming, you Slam Jam bronies. And we're off the air.
Adios.